Hi there, and welcome as you come to the part of the blog where I'm turning this into a short video. It's easy me writing words, but actually in reality, until you actually see the thing in process, you won't just know how good it is. So this is the Feuerhand, the Feuerhand Firepit. I got it about 2 years ago. There's really three parts to it. There's the pit itself, which has got all the drilled holes around it for aeration and for that secondary burn. You've got your grill, and then kind of what I call like the Mexican hat, which is this part here, which just gets set in. And as you can maybe pick up today, it's a perfect day for lighting a fire here in blustery Northern Ireland. So the grill itself, I say it's approximately about 2 feet wide, 60 centimeters, and you're going to see one heck of a burn, nice bright burn. It's not going to be 100% smokeless, but it will be generally quite smokeless, significantly less smoke than what you get if you lit a normal campfire. So we're going to go about and just show you how it works here now, but it's a cracking bit of kit. So say the weather today is kind of perfect for it, I guess, over here. What I do is, my intention tended to be, I light the fire at the side and then I build it up and it grows. Once we get this fire going, with the good strong breeze that's out here today, it'll take quite quickly and you'll see it very strong. I always use kiln dried wood. I get that from a chap in Hillsborough called Jay from Humra Logs. Thoroughly recommend him. I haven't used other suppliers, but right into the core of this wood, it's dry. It's good Irish wood that he kiln dries himself. So warmly recommended, Humra Logs. Okay, so we start off here. So I've got my little waxed strip here of spliced wood, and I just build a little bit of a crisscross pattern here up against it. You can hopefully make out what I'm doing. What I particularly like about the fire pit is that you'll see she's standing on her own feet. You can put this pretty much on any surface, and I've had her even quite close to the house. Obviously on a fireproof surface, but you're not going to, there's no heat that reflects on the ground below. So pretty safe that way. So we're just going to slowly work this up, and you can keep a wee eye and see how she goes. And if you can only imagine as well, if you had a normal fire pit in such windy conditions, it would be really, really difficult to light. Once we find this one gets going, it'll be no bother at all. What I find interesting is whenever you're burning wood on a wood burner, you're kind of obligated to have essentially a layer of ash underneath it, and that's what allows it to burn. Wood doesn't burn particularly well in the grill. However, interestingly, on this one, whatever way it's been designed, it burns. It's obviously been designed for a purpose, and it works really well. The Germans have done a fantastic job in taking what is a natural element and being able to make it so that it functions even better. Fantastic. And look, you can see we're starting to get a bit of flame built up on this now. I would say give us about another 5-10 minutes and this will be up to full power. I can actually feel a bit of heat coming off this already. I'm certainly not obligated to put any more wood on it at this point, but it's not going to do it any harm. It'll maybe just build it up that little bit quicker. In terms of once she's fully charged, you'll get about 45 minutes of good fire and heat out of the fire. Normally by that stage you're needing to load up again and do a bit more. Now obviously at the early stages of the burn, as you'd expect with any fire that you're lighting, you're going to get a little bit more smoke at the start. It's just normal, just in terms of the fire getting up to heat. But once she gets fully running, you'll see that there isn't much smoke comes out of her. I'm getting a nice heat out of this now. The one thing we actually built this area here that you see with the intention of putting a fire pit in it, what's actually quite interesting is even during the summer and other times we're actually up at the top of a hill here, and it causes really sort of I don't know how you nearly call it, like dirty air. It's kind of, it doesn't flow nicely, it doesn't blow away. The wind typically comes from the south as a sort of prevailing wind heading north east there, but we just tend to find that the wind circulates. So I've actually found a better location for this to be down on the kitchen patio, and also means it's closer to the fridge and everything else and the food. So that's us only now going about 10 minutes, and look at the burn that we've got. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Good heat coming off this, and it's not too smoky at all. So really nice piece of equipment. The only thing I would say about them is they're not cheap. It costs about 300 euros. There are other options available. I was looking at an option called a Solo, but they weren't available in the UK. So in the end, I settled for this one as the only available option to me at the time. But I don't think I've made a wrong choice. I really like this. Adds a lot of good atmosphere in the evenings, and a lot of good fun to have around. Just look at that there. There's nothing is blowing that out. I mean, we're nearly sitting here with about 40-mile-an-hour winds at certain points and big gusts. And look at her, she's absolutely cooking on gas, as they say. Great. So it's probably about that time that I get the chair out and I just sit down and relax, and the neighbours are probably wondering what on earth I am doing out here in the middle of one of the worst days in February in Northern Ireland. But you can't fault this. This is great. I'm pretty diligent. The next day, obviously you'll tend to go to bed and there'll still be hot embers in the fire. Regardless of what happens, I'll tend to leave this out overnight, but the next day I'm pretty fastidious and coming back out and taking her and put her under, bringing her indoors into the basement. If you don't do that, as I say, you will see deterioration. I think it's just the nature of how these things work. Nothing is completely resistant to the weather. Maybe appropriate if you get a cover for it, but I don't know in Northern Ireland if that would be sufficient. I think you need to bring it in, and especially after spending £300 on it, 300 euros thereabouts, you're not going to want to leave this device sitting outside to face the elements. Not at all. And she's really generating some nice heat right now. You can see there's a little bit of smoke, but not too much. I think actually this inclement weather actually contributes somewhat to the experience. Don't know what you think, but I think this makes a great alternative to sitting in and watching Netflix of a Saturday afternoon, or even indeed a Saturday evening. It's I just enjoy watching the flame picture. Just watching the shape of how the flames and the burn and the secondary burn within the various holes. Definitely takes us back to our more primitive times beforehand, but it's the application of some modern technology to get the very best out of the fire and to do it safely. So thanks for tuning in. Hopefully this is a useful review of the Feuerhand Firepit. I think it's called the Tyropit, and I hope it's been beneficial, and you can just see how you can have fun of a Saturday afternoon without having to play golf or go watch TV, even on a day such as this.